What a spectacular opening. I intentionally smashed the medicine bottle. Talk about a unique start. Need it? Please don't try to fix it. I can't do without my meds. The old man didn't chase, but Liu Langhan dashed away. Seems he cared much about his health. The old man silently picked up the pill fragment. He found a phone booth near the station and made a silent call to his late wife, trying to ease the awkward moment with a message from Li Yanjai. The old man slowly took out crushed pills, gazing at the night scene outside. The old man's life resembles a film, each stop brimming with memories. Frank raised 4 kids hard. In his twilight years, he lost his only partner. After years of working on dilapidated high-altitude cables, Frank became a frequent flyer of chronic pulmonary fibrosis, relying on meds daily. After his partner passed, Frank took up gardening as his new hobby, and his happiest days were holidays since all 4 kids would come home to keep him company. On Thanksgiving, he rushed into the supermarket early, buying the tastiest steak and most expensive wine, even excitedly paying for a new grill, but waited till night with no one arriving. The 4 kids hadn't arrived. The youngest son, Robert, was the first to call, apologetically telling his dad he couldn't make it home for this Thanksgiving. Frank didn't get mad. Instead, he wistfully told Robert that he might miss out on some fine wine. After hanging up, the old man gazed sadly at family photos around. He checked the voicemail and found his eldest daughter, Amy, too busy with work and taking care of her sick child, couldn't return for the holidays. The youngest daughter, Rosie, was also tied up with dance rehearsals, nearly no time to spare. As for the eldest son, David, he was even more lavish, not even bothering to call, letting Amy relay the news to Dad. Frank sat alone in the quiet yard, a torrent of thoughts swelling as the night fell. The days once filled with warmth and anticipation now left him utterly alone. After the kids attended the funeral, they never returned home. Looking at his reflection in the mirror, he decided to embark on an impromptu trip to visit his children in 4 different. Before he departed, he sought out his doctor to get a prescription for half a month, but the doc advised against it, believing a long trip wasn't wise. Despite a frown, at home he packed, readied his camera, wrote to his 4 kids, brimming with anticipation. With hearts full of expectation and embedded love, Frank embarked on this 1,000-mile family journey, his first stop, New York, where his eldest son, David, occupied. On the train, he met a lady and proudly shared his job, working to protect 1,000 miles of wiring every week. What a hero. He confidently claimed to protect the wires from rain damage and proudly pulled out pictures of his kids. Subtitles: the youngest son Robert conducts a band, eldest David, an artist, youngest daughter Rosie, a renowned dancer, eldest Amy, a powerhouse in advertising. Their achievements are thanks to that million-foot wire helping them along. Finally, as the train halted, Frank hailed a cab. When he arrived, it was dark. He planned a surprise for David, but after ringing the bell endlessly, no one answered. Subtitles: he even encountered a lady, but as midnight drew near and the night deepened, David still remained missing. In the end, Frank, feeling defeated, whimsically searched for a hotel nearby. As he passed a gallery, he spotted David's artwork, reminiscent of a long-ago conversation. The following morning, Frank waited and waited at the door, yet still failed to see David. He hastily shoved the letter through the door crack and then hurried on to the next stop. Just like every stop in his journey, raising children is also a heartfelt trip, each step laden with love and hopes from parents. Once upon a time, Frank watched his kids grow, shining like brilliant stars lighting their paths. Today, he too needed their love and support. After a long and hopeful journey, Frank finally arrived at his eldest daughter Amy's house. Amy was an executive in advertising, better off than her 3 siblings. What awaited him was his grandson Jack's surprise, stunned by Grandpa's arrival, but he left quickly for online classes. Amy busied herself with work by the pool, and Frank saw little Amy in her serious demeanor. When Frank inquired about her husband, Jeff, Amy's expression turned tense, seemingly flustered as she fiddled with her phone. She couldn't believe her father had actually taken a bus all the way to Chicago. When she saw Jack, she eagerly urged him to take Grandpa to play golf. Jack's swing was elegant, like a prodigy on the green. Frank, however, felt a bit out of sorts in front of his grandson. The grandpa-grandson duo chatted for quite some time while Amy kept making calls indoors, seemingly hiding something. Frank asked about Jack's grades, but they didn't seem as stellar as Amy suggested. Until late, Jeff rushed back to the villa and the family gathered for dinner. Frank seemed puzzled by the chopsticks, and it was Amy who sweetly handed him a fork. Subtitles: when Amy requested Jack to hand over the spicy sauce to Jeff, Jack deliberately went against his father's wishes, resulting in a quite awkward situation. Oh boy, this made Amy deeply embarrassed. She asked about Frank's travel plans, he'd stay a day or two then visit Robert. But this made Amy a bit nervous. She had a packed week and couldn't take care of Dad. Jeff had to head out of town tomorrow, and Jack had to participate in a school training camp. Clearly, their schedules were jam-packed, leaving no extra time to spend with Frank. Frank knew the kids faced trouble and what lay ahead, but didn't expose Amy. Instead, he proposed going to Robert City next day. Amy wanted to phone Robert, but he was stopped by his father, who wanted to surprise Robert. While Amy outwardly agreed to Dad's request, later that night, the siblings were in on. As for the eldest son, David, the siblings all knew he was in trouble in Mexico and didn't want their father to worry. Next morning, Frank took many villa photos, including a family portrait before leaving. No matter what, Jack refused to stand beside his father, and the 4 smiles in the family photo left Frank with an indescribable sadness. Amy invited her father to tour her company, and whenever Frank spotted a photo-worthy spot, he couldn't help but ask to take a picture of her. At his daughter's company, Frank also met a couple of young creators brainstorming for an ad campaign. Though it gave him a sense of accomplishment, he said little, responding with a quiet smile. While waiting for the train, Amy remained busy. She kindly ordered her dad a coffee, and while they chatted, she bumped into her colleague, Tom. Tom was the creative director at the firm, and Amy naturally introduced him to her dad, also inviting him to join for a coffee. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join us for more amazing journeys.